What does the lighter side say tomorrow morning, Al?
Well, you got it right there. Who's your daddy? I think the Yankees are going to come out big bop and send Pedro to his room.
For me, Matty, it's about the bullpens tonight. Game 1 was about starting pitching. Tonight, you've got 2 starters who generally go 5 or 6. In the hands of the bullpen, I'll go with the Yankees and Rivera to close it.
Guys, that's all from the field here at Yankee Stadium. Back to you in the studio, Greg.
Guys, great stuff over the past 2 hours. There's a live look at A.J. Burnett as he strolls his way out into the field. A.J. Burnett will face Pedro Martinez. There is Pedro. Will he be sent to his room like the lighter side says it will happen this morning? All right, take a look at the lineup changes. Game 1, Game 2 for the Phillies. Matt Stairs is the DH. Ibanez is going to be back in left field. Ben Francisco not in the lineup for the Philadelphia Phillies. Instead, it's Matt Stairs against the right-hander Burnett. As for the Yankees, their lineup, 2 differences. One at catcher because Burnett likes Molina. Molina will hit 9th instead of Posada. Jerry Hairston Jr. is going to play right field. His career over 370 against Pedro Martinez in his career. So he will be in the lineup instead of Nick Swisher. Cano and Matsui both move up. So we saw the headlines for Al Leiter and Tom Verducci. Let's get your headlines for tomorrow morning's paper. Harold, we'll start with you.
Well, you know who's breaking this thing out tonight? It's Alicia Keys and Jay-Z.
I love it.
And you know the song everybody keeps hearing?
Empire State of Mind.
Empire State of Mind. It's an Empire State of Mind. Jay-Z gets the Yanks back in the groove. New York.
Well, I think Pedro just being back in Yankee Stadium, in the new Yankee Stadium, and I think Pedro and the Phillies are going to come in and get their fill tonight. So I think they're going to take it 2 games tonight.
Wow.
Well, mine, I'm going to have to go against Al, and Pedro's going to put his daddy in timeout tonight. They're going to trade some places, and Pedro's putting his daddy in timeout, and the Phils are going back up 2-0.
Do we have a cameraman follow Pedro all day long to get that shot?
You know, I had one more. Can I say one more?
Go right ahead. Absolutely.
Despite A.J., Jay-Z, the Phillies are leaving NY up 0-2.
High note to end the program. That does it for MLB Tonight, presented by Motorola. Barry Larkin, Mitch Williams, Harold Reynolds. My name is Greg Amsinger. They're getting ready for the big performance. Jay-Z and Alicia Keys. There they are strolling out.
Bring it home,
we'll see
Jay-Z.
Post-game coverage after the game for more MLB Tonight.
We are ready for Game 2 of this 2009 World Series. I'm Joe. Tim is coming right up. A recap of last night's pretty easy, isn't it? 2 main guys. It was the left arm of Cliff Lee, brilliant. It was the big bat of Chase Utley, who went deep twice off Sabathia, and the Phillies took care in easy fashion of the Yankees in Game 1. And I know, Tim McCarver, that the big story in this series right now is that the defending champs are up 1-0. But of more pressing concern is the other big story, and that's that Pedro Martinez gets the ball tonight for the Phillies.
It is one of the great stories in World Series history. Just think, Pedro Martinez sitting at home in Santo Domingo last February, inactive. He signs with the Philadelphia Phillies on August the 12th. He has 9 starts. He wins 5 of them. And here he is starting Game 2 in Yankee Stadium. Pedro Martinez. It can't get any better.
Yeah, no, and he was terrific in his first postseason start this year at Dodger Stadium, Game 2 of the NLCS, 7 shutout innings on 2 hits. So when you look at this lineup for the Yankees, you can talk about Alex Rodriguez, who's been so good this postseason, but how about these 3 spots? Robinson, Cano, Mark Teixeira, you look at their averages, and that 114 average for Nick Swisher has put him on the bench. Jerry Hairston Jr. gets the start tonight in right field for the New York Yankees. Off we go. It's Game 2 right now. Beautiful night in the Bronx for Game 2 of this 2009 World Series. And a look at the Phillies starting lineup. It's Jimmy Rollins leading off. Shane Victorino batting second. Chase Utley hits third. Ryan Howard cleans up. Jason Worth is in right. Raul Ibanez in left. The DH is Matt Stairs. Pedro Feliz at third base, and Carlos Ruiz does the catching. He bats ninth. And there's a look at the regular season numbers for A.J. Burnett. During the season, a 13-game winner in the first year of a 5-year, $82.5 million deal.
And here it is, his 4th start in the postseason, and it's the same for A.J. when he goes out there. He can't fall behind, because that's when he has to come in with the fastball. but when he is right, if he gets ahead, the best curveball in the game.
Before his first pitch, here's our opening pitch, brought to you by Budweiser, with full flavor and a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. Here's Jimmy Rollins. Last night, 1 for 4. See how patient the Philly hitters are against Burnett, and if he can get out in front. Strike 1. That skips in. Curveball, and the count, a ball and a strike. There is last night's hero for Philadelphia, Cliff Lee. 9 innings, no earned runs, only 6 hits. 52-degree night in New York. And Rollins pops it into left. Right at Damon. 1 out. Well, you know, 1/9 of the defense. And the rest of it brought to you by Moto Blur. As we look at the outfield left to right, Damon, Cabrera, Hairston Jr. Around the infield, A-Rod, Jeter, Robinson, Cano, and Mark Teixeira, with Jose Molina has become the catcher for A.J. Burnett. Here's Victorino. Shane had a hit last night, scored a run. 1 for 4. Chase Utley on deck. And a strike on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. 4th start this postseason for Burnett. 3 no decisions. Yankees are 2-1 in his starts. Ball 1. There's a good curveball, strike 2.
Once again, that's what happened when A.J. Burnett gets ahead. He forces the opposition to swing at balls out of the strike zone. Normally a patient club. He stays ahead, he's going to be tough.
Got him. 2 out.
It also opens up the inside corner, and he goes inside to Victorino for his first strikeout.
Terrific movement on that fastball from Burnett.
2-seam fastball that came back over the plate.
And with the bases empty, here's Chase Utley, who gets a congratulatory boo here at Yankee Stadium for what he did last night. 2 of his 3 home runs this postseason, and he got CC Sabathia twice. Strike 1 to all 3 hitters. Pitch 1 has been strike 1, and that's so important for Burnett. Breaking ball misses low, and the count 1-1. We talked about it last night for Chase Utley. Joins Babe Ruth. The last time a left-handed batter hit 2 home runs off a left-handed pitcher in the same World Series game. 457 World Series games since Game 4 of 1928. Here's a 1-1 to Utley. Low, 2-1.
And as we said last night, the one impressive thing about Chase's home runs last night, they were both hit with 2 strikes. Normally hitters cut down on their swing with 2 strikes and try to protect the plate. Not last night with Utley.
That's ball 3. Utley has now reached in 26 straight postseason games, which is a baseball record, by hit, walk, or hit by pitch. Last night he walked in the first inning, and he's up on the count here 3-1 before Pedro takes the hill in the bottom of this first. And Utley flies one into left. Damon is there. Phillies go in order. Good start for Burnett. Now it's Pedro's turn. Bottom of the first in the Bronx. No score. No score after a half inning, and a look at the Yankees starting lineup. Derek Jeter leads it off. Johnny Damon bats second. Mark Teixeira hits third. Alex Rodriguez hitless last night with 3 strikeouts, cleans up. Hideki Matsui the DH. Robinson Cano. Jerry Hairston Jr. makes his first start of the postseason. He's in right. Melky Cabrera in center. And Jose Molina does the catching, batting ninth. And here is Pedro Martinez, 5-1 in 9 regular season Philly starts. And no decision in that one NLCS start out in LA.
If you're familiar with Pedro Martinez's style, he's a master at deception. Very wily, creative, an occasional curveball. He'll pitch right-handed batters more inside than he will left-handed batters. I'll tell you, seeing Derek Jeter walk up there, Joe, 2 guys in World Series history. I mean, these guys focus. They zone out everything, and nobody does it even any better than Derek Jeter or Pedro Martinez.
And they get to hook up right out of the gate. Here we go. Ball 1 low. Talking to these Yankee hitters, Johnny Damon in particular, talked about the importance of getting that changeup over for Pedro and for the Yankee hitters to lay off it when it's in the dirt. And that "Who's your daddy" chant, referencing a comment that Pedro made back in September of 2004. The month before, Pedro's Boston Red Sox had that comeback down 3-0 in the ALCS. Pedro pitched in Game 7 in relief at the old Yankee Stadium. That's at the knees, and strike 2 on Jeter, who had 3 hits last night. Take a look at the defense, and for the Phillies, it's brought to you by Moto Blur. In the outfield, it's Ibanez tonight in left. He DH'd last night. Victorino in center. Jason Worth in right. Feliz, Rollins, Utley, Howard around the infield, and Carlos Ruiz does the catching for Pedro. Breaking ball stays up and in. 2-2. Ball 3. And Derek Jeter leading off is making Pedro Martinez work to get this first out. And a good start for Pedro as he gets Derek Jeter. 88-mile-an-hour fastball by his bat for out number 1.
Charlie Manuel telling us that Pedro in Los Angeles, his fastball got up to 93 miles an hour. There is so much deception. Again, those long fingers that Pedro Martinez has, it seems like even an 88-mile-an-hour fastball, he hangs on to it a little longer.
On a 52-degree night in the New York area, as strike 1 is into Johnny Damon. The Yankees are not a team in the category of a young, aggressive group that will go after that changeup like the Dodgers did, some of their younger hitters. And this is a lineup for the Yankees filled with veteran hitters who have faced Martinez a lot in their big league careers. No 1-1. Here's a good changeup and strike 2.
And in Johnny Damon's case, not only faced him a lot, but played behind him a lot when they were teammates with the Red Sox. Good changeup there in a perfect spot.
And to the right side foul. Home plate umpire tonight is Jeff Nelson. Brian Gorman is at first, Mike Everett at second, Dana DeMuth at third. Down the right field line is the crew chief Jerry Davis, and Joe West needs better lighting for his headshot. He's down the left field line.
That changeup just foul down the right field line.
Another 1-2 to Damon, and a strikeout on a changeup. So a strikeout on a fastball of Jeter and a strikeout with a changeup on Johnny Damon.
There aren't too many pitchers in baseball who could throw 3 changeups in a row like Martinez just did.
The Home Depot tools to victory here tonight.
Well, the Phillies came in here wanting 1 win. So they are playing with house money, and the croupier is Pedro Martinez. Must-win situation for the Yankees? I think so.
I agree. With 2 out, nobody on. Teixeira takes an 86-mile-an-hour fastball up. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Also, it may be the first time the word croupier is on a baseball telecast.
With 2 out, nobody on. Teixeira, who was 0 for 4 last night, he was hitting only 186 this postseason, is in the hole now. And Pedro Martinez, in his return to the Bronx, new Yankee Stadium, could strike out the side here in the first inning.
If Teixeira gets Martinez to throw strikes, Martinez is the type pitcher that Teixeira could break out against. The reason for that is Pedro doesn't throw hard enough to get inside on Teixeira. That's how American League pitchers try to pitch him. High tight fastballs and breaking balls away. If Pedro throws strikes to Teixeira, Teixeira could break out of it.
The Yankees need that to happen. 2-2 pitch. And a pop-up straight up on the infield. And it is Rollins who takes over and makes the play. He and Ryan Howard shoot each other a glance on their way back to the dugout. Good start for Pedro. No score after 1 in game 2. A.J. Burnett had an uneventful first inning, and he will work to Ryan Howard, Jason Worth, and Raul Ibanez here in the second. Surprised at the lack of a response for Pedro Martinez in the bottom of the first inning. This crowd is very quiet here for game 2 at the beginning.
It really is.
First time that Pedro's pitched in this park. There's plenty to talk about with regard to the Philly right-hander as Burnett brings it to Howard. A high strike, 0-1. Ryan Howard had to deal with the left-handed Sabathia last night. Doubled in his first at bat and struck out his next 2 times up. Tonight a right-hander, and 40 of the 47 home runs Howard has hit this year, and includes the postseason, come against right-handed pitching. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's strike 2.
3 straight fastballs to Howard. 2 inside, 1 away. Yankees will try to pitch Ryan Howard, breaking balls out of the strike zone when they get ahead.
And Howard just gets a piece as Burnett gives him a curveball. Still 1-2. This Philadelphia club, they are the defending champs. 93 wins during the regular season, and they won the NL East by 6 games over the Marlins. Charlie Manuel, his 5th year, has won the NL East 3 straight seasons. A 1-2 again, and a strikeout for Burnett, his 2nd of the night.
These are the types of swings that hitters have against the A.J. Burnett breaking ball. That ball just disappearing out of the strike zone.
Brings in Jason Worth. We talked about it during the ALCS with regard to A.J. Burnett, that when he gets that curveball working, and it's like that, and he has his control, he is in that same category with Beckett, two former Florida Marlins. Beckett can just get to the next level when he snaps off the good curveball, and you see it early, and Beckett looks like he's got good control here tonight, at least to the first 4 batters. He's 0-1 on Jason Worth, and now a ball and a strike. So A.J. Burnett, who was a part of that 2003 World Championship team, but on the DL when the Marlins beat the Yankees, is now up on the count to Jason Worth, 1-2. Worth lays off the curveball, 2-2.
A.J. Burnett has faced 5 Philly hitters and thrown a first pitch strike to each one.
You know, when CC Sabathia signs a deal for $161 million, $23 million a year, then A.J. Burnett comes in after and signs an $82.5 million deal. You think, oh, what a bargain. It's for 5 years. It's $16+ million a year. The Yankees need a good start from this right-hander here tonight down in this series. He does not have a win this postseason. He's pitched well in 2 of his 3 starts.
I think this is going to be a fastball. A lot of times when a pitcher shakes, yes, I want that pitch. Yes, I want it there. It's a fastball, and it is a fastball away.
A running fastball, as it turns out, that came inside to Worth, and the count's still 2-2.
Hitters pick up on that too. You can't shake your head yes twice, because when you do that, what you're telling your catcher is, yes, I want that fastball. Yes, I want it there. This will be a curve here.
And reaching for it and fouling it is Worth. Jason Worth hit one of 3 home runs against A.J. Burnett on May 22nd. In that game, the Phillies beat Burnett 7-3. A.J. went 6, allowed 5 runs on 8 hits. Here's his 2-2 to Worth. Full count. On 3-2, a breaking ball and a ground ball to third, picked up by Rodriguez. 2 gone. Raul Ibanez is coming up, and he was a big piece of the puzzle acquired during the offseason. Signed by Ruben Amaro Jr. The Phillies led the National League in home runs, RBIs. First back-to-back pennants in team history. And they beat the Rockies and the Dodgers to get to this World Series. Ibanez, who hit a career-high 34 home runs, stands in with 2 out and nobody on. Strike 1. So for all 6 batters, A.J. Burnett has thrown a strike on the first pitch.
And all fastballs.
That's a ball. Lee Jenkins, who is a terrific writer, sports writer, and works now for Sports Illustrated, reported that Raul Ibanez could be facing offseason surgery on a small muscle tear near his abdomen. Something that was discovered in late June. He put off the surgery. He's been playing with the injury. There's strike 2. That time he also had a sore left groin, went on the DL. Came back on the 11th of July, and the power and the average have not been there like it was at the start of the season before he was injured. The 1-2 spins out of there 2-2. Matt Stairs, the DH, on deck. And a little fly ball into left. Johnny Damon cannot get there. It's a fair ball, and it's a double. Just fair down the left field line, and Ibanez has a double here with 2 out in the second.
Only 7 guys play behind a pitcher, and they can't be everywhere. No way to defend a ball hit down the left field line. It looked like it may have hit on the inside of the line and bounding into foul territory and into the stands.
So now with Ibanez at second and 2 out, Matt Stairs could put Philadelphia on top of the base hit. See if Stairs gets a fastball on the first pitch.
I don't think so. I was wrong.
And it is a strike. All 7 hitters. 0-1 on Stairs, who hit 5 home runs during the regular season.
Matt Stairs, a very funny guy, born in New Brunswick in Canada. Loves the fastball.
Ball and a strike.
Matt saying with every swing, he tries to hit it as far as he can.
And he did last year in the NLCS against Broxton.
Yeah.
And the Dodgers in a home run at Dodger Stadium that took your breath away if you were there watching it, no matter who you were rooting for. If you were a Philly fan or a Dodger fan, it stopped all the action and everybody just watched. You can hit him a long way. 1-1 pitch to third and under the glove of Rodriguez. Here comes Ibanez. The throw by Damon is late, and it's 1-0 Philadelphia here in the second.
I would imagine that's an error on Alex Rodriguez. A fastball to Matt Stairs. And once again, Matt Stairs, a very good fastball hitter. He did hit it hard. The ball under the glove. It may have tipped the webbing of Rodriguez. And it's going to be scored as a hit, but could have been an error.
So it's an RBI hit for Matt Stairs. But Rodriguez in that situation's got to knock the ball down.
Yeah, you're right. That keeps it first and third with 2 outs.
Instead, it got under his glove, and the Phillies score first. It took until the 3rd inning last night. It happens here in the 2nd inning with a 2-out double by Ibanez, who scores on the hit by Matt Stairs. The 0-1. Strike 2 on Pedro Phillies, the number 8 hitter.
I think the first thing you're thinking, man on second and 2 outs. You're thinking if you have to range to your left or to your right, then you can keep the ball in the infield. But when a ball's hit right at you, you're thinking about making the play.
Crowd trying to get back into it. And the 0-2 to Phillies. Blocked by Jose Molina. So Matt Stairs, who got the nod as the DH, 6th on the all-time RBI list by a DH among active players. But just a .219 hitter in his career against the Yankees has put Philadelphia on top here in Game 2 of the World Series. And the 1-2 pitch from Burnett to Phillies. And a strikeout ends the inning. 3rd of the night. But in the inning, the first 2 hits of the night. Ibanez Pena a double, Stairs an RBI single, 1-0 Philadelphia after an inning and a half. Bottom of the second, 1-0 Philadelphia. They lead this series 1-0, and Alex Rodriguez first up. Struck out 3 times last night, 0 for 4. First hitless game of this postseason, strike 1 from Pedro Martinez, who is 5'11", 193 pounds, all heart. Turned 38 on Sunday, 3-time Cy Young Award winner, and working on 12 days of rest. This is the first time he's pitched against the Yankees on the other side of 161st Street. That's strike 2. A career record of 219 and 100, and a career ERA of 2.93. That's something, Tim, in what's known now as the steroid era in baseball, to have a career ERA of 2.93.
Staggering, isn't it? He made that comment, we talked about it last night, that he might be the only man who brings fear to fans without pitching. From the way this crowd is reacting, his words mean something. What a quiet crowd.
Alex Rodriguez wants to wake him up in the count 1-2. Pedro also said to the media, I don't know if you know this, but because of you guys, in some ways, I might be at times the most influential player that ever stepped in Yankee Stadium. And we'll detail some of that history in the bottom of the second. 1-2 to Rodriguez. Another foul back. In his career against the Yankees, he is 12-13. He's making his 38th start against New York. And time called as Rodriguez steps out. 1-2 with an ERA of 4.72 and 6 appearances against the Yankees in the postseason. Another foul. It was a late decision by Charlie Manuel and Rich Doobie to give Pedro the ball here in game 2 as opposed to keeping him for Citizens Bank Park in game 3. And Cole Hamels will get the baseball and take on Andy Pettitte on Saturday night. Martinez and Rodriguez in a battle, and it continues.
You can see Carlos Ruiz playing cat and mouse behind the plate, even with nobody on at second base. He went inside to Rodriguez, pounded the glove a couple of times, and then went outside. You pound the glove enough inside, hitters think the pitch is inside. That's where this one will be.
And it's up 2-2. A Yankee team that led Major League Baseball in wins, home runs, and runs. Look at the career numbers against Martinez for Alex Rodriguez. Yankee lineup shut down last night by Cliff Lee. 2-2 pitch. And got him looking. Third strikeout in 4 batters faced by Pedro Martinez.
Martinez shaking off 3 pitches from Ruiz, and he throws the breaking ball. Talked about those long fingers allowing to wrap that curve to get that tight spin.
So Rodriguez is now 0 for 5 in this World Series with 4 strikeouts, and here's Hideki Matsui. That's over, but low, ball 1. That good velocity that Charlie Manuel talked about and that Pedro showed in game 2 of the NLCS it isn't what it was that afternoon at Dodger Stadium. It's in the upper 80s. But you talked with Joe Girardi, Tim, before the game about the importance of the difference in velocity between fastball and changeup. That's what's most important to Pedro.
Absolutely. In other words, he can reach 87 with the fastball, but if his changeup is 73, that's still very effective. He does not have to throw a 91 to 93 mile an hour fastball to be effective. This is a breaking ball. Upon release from the hand, it was going 70, and when it crossed home plate, going 65.
Here's a 2-1 to Matsui, and he waits on it and grounds a base hit through the right side. So for Pedro against the Yankees, roll the tape back to 1999, September 10th, and a career-high 17 strikeouts in a win at the old Yankee Stadium. 0-3 ALCS, Game 3. Throwing down 72-year-old Don Zimmer. An ugly incident at Fenway. Game 7, Grady Little stayed with a tiring Pedro. The Yankees rally and go to the World Series. And then in September of 2004, he said this.
I mean, what can I say? Just tip my hat and call the Yankees my daddy.
Those chants started when Pedro made his way out to the bullpen to warm up for tonight's game. Here's Robinson Cano, 1 on, 1 out. And that chant started to get some traction. And people in Yankee Stadium started to join in. And then about, I don't know, 30 seconds into it, and it started to pick up some steam, then the speakers started blaring some Jay-Z music, and it drowned it out. And that was about the last time we've heard this stadium really get on Pedro. Here's an 0-1. Off the hands and fouled out of play. 88-mile-an-hour fastball, strike 2.
Those stories were plastered all over the New York papers today, and Don Zimmer was even called and quoted this morning in one of the papers saying, look, I have nothing against Pedro. The next day I held a press conference. I said it was not Pedro's fault for him throwing me down. I apologized about that. But Pedro brought it up again yesterday.
He brought it up again, but he had a new twist to the story.
Yeah.
6 years later, here's an 0-2 pitch fouled back by Robinson Cano when Martinez intimated that Don Zimmer said something about Pedro's mother. And that was a part of that throwdown at Fenway Park, and that's what caused the media to call Don Zimmer, and that was his reaction, saying that he didn't say anything about Pedro's mother, and he's already apologized for it. Here comes the 0-2. Up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Cano, who was hitting only .211 this postseason after hitting .320 during the regular season, 6th best average in the American League. He has no homers, hit 25 during the regular season. So offensively, for the most part, Cano has been missing in action for New York this postseason. 1 on, 1 out, 1-2 pitch. Still 1-2.
That's the thing about hitters against Martinez. You can't center the ball, and often when you do, your body is out in front, and then when he throws a fastball that you would normally paced, then you're behind it and you're back. He can get you in that pendulum going from back to forward, back to forward, primarily because of that changeup.
Pedro very deliberate so far in the first 2 innings. Here comes a 1-2, and that just missed. 2-2.
Tried to throw the breaking ball away, and it went around the plate.
Cano in his career is 0 for 12 against Martinez. Guy on deck, Jerry Hairston Jr. has been much better. The reason why he's in the lineup. Here's a 2-2 to Cano. Just reaches out and drives it into left center field. Diving catch by Ibanez. What a play by Raul Ibanez, 2 out.
Ibanez did not play in last night's game. He was a designated hitter. And that ball coming back to Raul, and a diving catch and a beauty. Fine play by Raul Ibanez.
Ibanez dropped a ball in Colorado during the division series, and when we talked to Charlie Manuel about it before the game, he said that's the only ball I've seen him drop all year. He's really been better than advertised in the outfield, and he covered a lot of ground on that ball hit by Cano for a big second out. Last year the Phillies had Pat Burrell in the outfield, and Ibanez an upgrade at the plate and in the outfield from a year ago for Philadelphia. 1 on, 2 out. Here is Hairston Jr. who takes the ball. 10 for 27 in his career against Pedro Martinez. But that's not the real reason why he's in the lineup. The real reason why is that Nick Swisher isn't hitting. If Swisher was hitting, Hairston would be on the bench. But he's just 4 for 35, Swisher with 1 RBI, so he's in the dugout, and Hairston takes ball 2, 2-0. Brett Gardner was an option to make this start, according to Joe Girardi. Even Eric Hinsky, they thought about all 3, but look at the career numbers for Hairston. A lot of that while with the Baltimore Orioles years ago. It's the organization that Hairston first came to the big leagues with, and that's why Hairston got the nod. There's his strike, 2-1. Here's a 2-1. Inside corner, 2-2, and Hairston didn't like the call.
And that's just an idea. Martinez, he will throw any pitch on any count. He gets the breaking ball over 2-0, and then throws the fastball for a strike. Hairston thought it was inside. Looked like it had part of the plate.
Now the 2-2 is down and away. Runner at first, Matsui will go. And Ryan Howard will back up. And play behind Matsui. All right. 3-2 and a fly ball into right. Going to get it is Jason Worth. A rather easy catch. A catch that wasn't easy by a guy who was brought to Philadelphia for his bat. Makes a diving catch in the second inning. Still 1-0 Philly after 2. This year on Halloween, it's all treats and no tricks for America from Taco Bell. Free blackjack tacos from Taco Bell. No stolen base required this year. Ground ball to short off the bat of Ruiz. Jeter takes care of it. 1 pitch, 1 out. And even with the Yankees, Tim, trailing here 1-0 in the third inning, New York has to be very pleased with what they're seeing out of A.J. Burnett.
No, throwing strikes and early strikes. 8 of the first 9 hitters strike 1. Actually, 9 of the 9 first hitters. So all 9 hitters strike 1 with the fastball. Second time through the lineup, you have to start mixing things up and throwing more breaking balls early in the count.
Jimmy Rollins fly to left his first time up and takes a strike on a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. He's been consistent with that. Victorino will follow. He's wearing a microphone tonight, and we'll give you a listen as to what he was saying earlier After his first at bat in a moment, that's down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jimmy Rollins started this season hitting .207 through the end of June, but has picked it up since. .281, including the postseason, with 15 of his 21 home runs and 53 of his 77 RBIs, and a nasty breaking ball from A.J. Burnett.
Players refer to this pitch as a snapdragon. Pretty good term.
Here's a 1-2, and again, and this time it's fouled off to the right. While it's a 52-degree night here, a lot of talk with the two clubs that on Saturday in Philadelphia the temperature might get into the 70s. As we are approaching the month of November. Rollins takes ball 2, 2-2.
Curveball away.
And it misses the plate. Full count.
Just outside.
The 3-2 pitch is up and away, and Jimmy Rollins draws a walk. Let's listen in to Shane Victorino and what he was talking about in the dugout after his first at bat.
I was too close to the plate, so I made it like I felt like I was way in.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to find my bearings on this left side, like, you know, where I am on the plate. So came back over.
Batting right-handed against CC Sabathia last night. Normally Shane Victorino stands a little farther away. We'll see if he does this time. It's about the same right now.
Not exactly backed up.
No. Look for Rollins to run right here. Running situation with these two guys.
And what that does for Victorino is give Shane a lot of fastballs to hit because of the threat of the running game, and Victorino a very good fastball hitter as Rollins draws a throw. Jose Molina has been the catcher for A.J. Burnett. The ERA for Burnett and the average against for Burnett much better with Molina behind the plate, and Jose is 37% in his career at throwing out potential base stealers. That's 4th among active catchers in the big leagues, and there is strike 1 on Victorino. Number 1 on the active list, by the way, is Pudge. Ivan Rodriguez at throwing out base stealers. And number 3 on the list is Jose's little brother Yadier. He's at 41% if you round up for his career. Gold Glove Award winner. Here is an 0-1 pitch. Instead, and pretty close. Rollins got back just in time.
A.J. Burnett showing quick feet there. Speaking of feet, Jimmy Rollins lifting that right foot up. He may have been going before that throw to first base. Joe, the one thing you try not to do as a catcher is to allow the runner at first base to dictate what kind of game you're calling behind the plate. You can't call too many fastballs to a guy who's a fastball hitter. You have to mix it up.
Here comes one inside to Victorino, and that one gets away. Supposed to be inside, and it was way up and away, and now Jose Molina wants to go talk as the count evens at 1-1 to Victorino.
I think Molina is going to tell A.J. not to use the slide step to that degree. This is a delivery toward home that is totally off kilter. The ball goes way up and away. Use the slide step in moderation.
Molina calls for the curveball. Runner starts and stops, and Victorino strike 2. Rollins made a little step towards second. Stopped, and a good pitch from A.J. Burnett. You see that he's had these Philly hitters missing that curveball by a lot.
Go back to our scouting report. When he's right, it's the best curveball in the game.
Victorino gets a piece with Chase Utley on deck. Avid cliff diver Shane Victorino from Hawaii, and his highest dive 60 feet.
The flying Hawaiian.
About 55 feet higher than I'm willing to go. Rollins during the regular season with 31 stolen bases, 4th best number in the National League. And this Philly team, number 2 in the National League in steals, number 1 in stolen base percentage. And that's impressive, Tim, when you combine that with the fact that they led the National League in home runs with 224.
Oh, they have a terrific offense, different from the Yankees, but very, very good. You know, the one thing we have not talked about is the possibility of a wild pitch with Burnett. We talked about his breaking ball being good. Sometimes it's so good it goes in the dirt. 17 wild pitches this year.
+2 this postseason. And Victorino taps it foul to keep it 1-2. A.J. Burnett, who started in the Mets organization, was traded to the Marlins in '98 in a deal that brought Al Leiter to New York to the Mets. Came up in '99, threw a no-hitter in 2001 out in San Diego, but he walked 9 and hit a batter. 2006, a free agent, went to Toronto. Last year, 18-10 with the Blue Jays. This is his first year with the Yankees. And Davey Lopes is conversing with the first base umpire, Brian Gorman, as both Lopes and Rollins have to pay attention to Burnett, who's certainly paying attention to the runner. 1-2 pitch. There he goes. Now he comes back, and ball 2 is up and away. Victorino is hitting .350 this postseason before that first inning strikeout. There goes Rollins, and a little chopper back to Burnett. He makes the play, 2 out. So Rollins finally took off, and Victorino grounds out for the 2nd out. Utley coming up. Before Utley digs his way in, we look ahead to what comes your way Sunday here on Fox. And it is a Super Sports Sunday with the Giants and Eagles at 1 p.m. It's in Philadelphia, the battle for first in the NFC East. 4:15 Eastern, Vikings at Packers with Brett Favre coming back to Green Bay. And then at 8 o'clock, Game 4 of this World Series with the Yankees and Phillies in Philadelphia. And it starts with America's #1 pregame show. It kicks off a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. And in that pregame show, Terry Bradshaw will have a sit-down interview with Brett Favre. He's been very critical of Brett Favre with his waffling on his career, retiring, coming back a couple of times. And From what I understand, the interview is not a yuck fest. It is a serious interview between those two. Well, one former quarterback, one current quarterback. That's this Sunday. That's in the dirt, and Molina with a pickup of ball one.
Gives you an idea of how quick Molina is behind the plate, spearing that short hop.
The first time in this game. First pitch from A.J. Burnett misses the strike zone. And now way outside, 2-0. That time of year.
Tomorrow night. Actually, 2 nights. I wound my watch.
Your new watch has failed you on national TV. You can go out trick-or-treating tomorrow night. You're going to surprise some people.
Well, it's an off day. Why not?
Here's a 2-0 pitch. Utley takes high, 3-0. So 3-0 as A.J. Burnett has slowed the pace of this game down considerably. It happened when Rollins reached on the walk. And now with a count of 3-0, Chase Utley is going to be intentionally walked, and that brings up Ryan Howard with 2 on and 2 out.
How many times, at least in recent memory, has a hitter been walked to face a man who's hit 45 home runs and 141 RBIs? That does not happen that often. By the way, 40 of those home runs have come against right-handed pitching.
Dave Island goes out to talk to A.J. Burnett, and we go back to the second inning and look at the pitch sequence.
Fastball inside. So with the count 1-2, Ryan Howard fouls it off, and then the check swing to get it.
Fastballs, then the curveball first time around, and that was a strikeout to start the second. In that inning, a 2-out double by Ibanez, and he scored on a base hit that got under the glove of Alex Rodriguez. Hit by Matt Stairs, which made it 1-0 Philadelphia. Now it's 2 on, 2 out. And Ryan Howard at the plate. Ball one inside. With that intentional walk, the Yankees also bring up a guy who has more RBIs over the last 4 years than anybody in the game. 572. A 1-0. Big rip. A ball and a strike.
Ryan Howard knows he had a pitch to hit then. That last pitch was down in the strike zone. Ryan Howard, a very good low ball hitter, and Burnett did not get the ball inside like he wanted to. Yankees will try to pitch Howard fastballs in and breaking balls out of the strike zone.
And that one drops in for strike 2. A good A.J. Burnett curveball. And at 9:04 Eastern, the crowd showed up. Two and 2. On deck is Jason Worth, but more to come with this face-off between Ryan Howard and A.J. Burnett. And for you on Saturday night, Tim, when you go trick-or-treating, 71 in Philadelphia. 2-2 the count on Ryan Howard. 2 on, 2 out. Inning over as Howard strikes out again. Bottom of the 3rd inning, number 8 hitter Melky Cabrera first up for New York. The Yankees have yet to figure out Pedro Martinez. A base hit, ground ball base hit by Hideki Matsui with 1 out in the 2nd. Is all the Yankees have tonight. Cabrera hits it well to center. Back is Victorino in front of the trap. 1 out. So a 1-0 pitch is fly to center. 1 down. Jose Molina, who's in the lineup to catch A.J. Burnett, who has 1 hit in 4 postseason trips to the plate, comes to bat against Pedro. Martinez, who sat out the first 4 months of this season, was in the Dominican, was with his recently widowed mother, built her a garden, worked in the garden for his mom, got his body healthy. Charlie Kerfeld, who was a scout and is a scout for Philadelphia, scouted Pedro. Liked what he saw initially, and then the interest became more intense. As Tim said, the Phillies won 8 of his 9 starts. He's 5-1 during the regular season. He's doing all this for $1.4 million, which includes bonuses here in 2009 from the Phillies. 1 ball, 1 strike on Molina. Ball 2.
Were there teams willing to take a chance on Pedro Martinez in spring training? Well, of course, but the price was too high. So the Phillies won out by waiting, and he has paid big dividends.
Here's a 2-1 pitch to Molina. Inside, 3-1. Pedro, who helped turn around the Red Sox in 1998. He was traded there for Carl Pavano and Tony Armas Jr. Here's his resume. 3-time Cy Young Award winner, 1 time in the NL with Montreal, 8-time All-Star. And a strike to make it a full count on Jose Molina. Good pitch for strike 2. With 1 out, Molina fouls it. Pedro came up with the Dodgers in 1992, traded to Montreal in '94 for Delino DeShields, traded to Boston in 1998. Had a 19-win season, a 23-win season, was 18-6 with a 1.74 ERA in 2000, 20-4 in 2002, 16-9 during the regular season when the Red Sox won it all, sweeping the Cardinals in the World Series. 3-2 to Molina is up and away, a 1-out walk. And the first walk by Martinez tonight. Prior to tonight's game, Derek Jeter was named the 2009 recipient of the Roberto Clemente Award, presented by Chevy. It's bestowed annually to the baseball player who combines a dedication to giving back to the community with outstanding skills on the baseball field. Since 1996, Derek Jeter's Turn 2 Foundation has awarded more than $10 million in grants to programs that promote academic excellence, leadership development, and positive behavior in kids. Jeter, a guy who had 4 rings after his first 5 full years in the big leagues. 3 hits last night, struck out his first time up tonight. 1 on, 1 out, and strike 1 from Martinez.
Derek Jeter and Yogi Berra always kidding one another. Berra, who has 10 World Series rings, and Jeter with 4. Derek said, "I'm going to catch you," and Yogi said, "No, you're not."
See Charlie Manuel and Sam Palazzo trying to get Ryan Howard's attention. Now Howard plays behind Jose Molina. It's important because Jeter likes to go to right. And he's in the hole 0-2. By the way, in the spirit of Roberto Clemente, Major League Baseball invites all fans to lend a hand by volunteering in their communities. For more information about how you can get involved, visit MLBGoBeyond.com. The 0-2. Foul third base side. Talk about those great years in Boston for Pedro. Pedro came to the Mets as a free agent in 2005 and combined 32 wins in 4 years for $53 million. Had a tough time staying healthy. Now with their division rival, the Phillies. And the 0-2. Ball one.
Yeah, this has been a New York Mets fan here in New York City. A New York Mets fans' nightmare. The Phillies facing the Yankees in the World Series.
Here's a 1-2. 2-2. Charlie Manuel was taken with how smart a baseball man Pedro Martinez is. He didn't know much about him personally, thought he was just a guy, according to Charlie, who just didn't care what people thought about him, went out, did his own thing. So he's really a people person and has been a delight to have in the clubhouse, and very smart with regard to this game. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Got him looking, and Jeter strikes out for the second time tonight.
I think he quick pitched Derek Jeter then. We talked about how wily and savvy Martinez is. I think that was a quick pitch. He barely stopped. Look how quickly he gets rid of the ball. You don't see Derek Jeter strike out twice against one pitcher, particularly a pitcher that can't get inside. But I think Pedro quick pitched Jeter. Then I'll tell you, he is very, very smart on the mound.
Damon hits one in the air into right center field. Back is Victorino to end the inning. A walk, a man left. Yankees have stranded 2 as we give you a look outside the new Yankee Stadium. We go to the 4th, 1-0 Philadelphia. Said the temperature 52 degrees at the start of the night. Thankfully, the rain is out of here as Jason Worth deals with Burnett and takes the ball inside. Worth grounded out to third his first time. That was the second out in the second before Ibanez doubled literally down the left field line, and then Raul scored on a base hit by Matt Stairs. Breaking ball misses. 2-0.
Much has been said about the postseason that Alex Rodriguez is having. And, of course, that's because he's having a terrific postseason. But Jason Worth has matched him in home runs. They both have 5.
Here's a 2-0. 3-0. We had a chance to visit with Joe Girardi, the Yankee manager, and we'll play that for you after Worth does something to start the 4th. Phillies lead 1-0 and lead in this series 1-0. 3-0 pitch. 3-1. A.J. Burnett has walked 2 in this game, 1 intentionally. Had the highest walk rate in the American League during the regular season. 3.78 per 9 innings pitched, and he runs the count full as Jason Worth hammered at that 3-1 fastball. much straight coming out of the right hand of A.J. Burnett. And a line drive into right field. It's a base hit. Here's our chat with Joe Girardi, and first question was about the pitching of A.J. Burnett, and then he's getting a lot of first pitch strikes tonight.
Yeah, I think he's throwing the ball extremely well, and there was a ball just out of the reach of Alex, and that's how they scored their run. But we're very pleased with the way he's throwing the baseball.
And you have seen plenty of Pedro over the years, live on TV, whatever, and he is a crafty right-hander. You don't typically say that about a right-hander, but he's got good stuff tonight.
No, he's always been that way. He's very smart when he's out on the mound, and he showed that, you know, with Derek Jeter, he kind of quick pitched him. He was slow, and then with 2 strikes, he quick pitched him and kind of froze Derek. He's always been a very smart pitcher.
What are you looking for tonight to jumpstart your Yankee lineup, which so far has been very quiet?
Well, I think we've had good at-bats against Pedro, and we've had some long at-bats, so maybe we can wear him down a little bit. And Johnny just hit a ball in the barrel, and we've had some guys hit the ball in the barrel. We just got to find some holes.
Thanks for your time, Joe.
Thanks, guys.
All right. A visit with Joe Girardi, and after a leadoff hit by Jason Worth, it's a 0-1 count on Ibanez. Foul tip and an 0-2 count. It's almost as if game 1 has had a carryover effect here into game 2 with the feel inside this stadium. And what's a 1-run game in the 4th, even with the excitement about Pedro Martinez pitching against the hometown Yankees.
Yeah, that's what happens when a team shows up and shows the home crowd how good they are. This is a very, very tough Philadelphia outfit.
Counts 0-2 on Ibanez. And Ibanez checked his swing. Out at first is Worth for the first out of the inning. No swing by Ibanez, but nearly 2 outs on 1 pitch.
Almost a double play. Just a brilliant throw by Jose Molina behind Ibanez. Watch, short hop behind, right behind the neck. So quick, and Worth is out. It runs in the family. Yadier Molina is the best at that. Jose and Benji are both terrific at it.
And now the count 2-2 on Ibanez, who almost swung at that pitch in the dirt. They did appeal down to the third base umpire, Dana DeMuth. He said no swing, and so Ibanez still up, and now a 2-2 count. So Worth is picked off. And Burnett strikes out Ibanez. 5th strikeout for A.J. Burnett, and this crowd is trying to climb back into it as Burnett has pitched very well.
Joe, think about, after you watch this fastball, just think about what Molina had to do on that play to pick off Jason Worth. He had to catch it, the short hop on the ground, and then he had the left-handed batter impeding his throw to first base, and then make a good strong throw. He did all of those things to get Worth.
And now Matt Stairs flies it into left. And after a leadoff hit, Worth is picked off. A strikeout, a fly ball. A.J. Burnett says, let's go. Big bats coming up for New York. Teixeira, A-Rod, Matsui. 1-0 Philadelphia. Part of the order for the Yankees in the 4th inning, down by a run. Trying to figure out Pedro Martinez, and there's ball 1 inside. We keep talking about the smarts of Pedro Martinez on the mound. He's also very smart off the mound. His 1-0 pitch is flied in the air to right center field. Back at the wall, tie game. Home run to Teixeira.
was a changeup. And did he ever center that ball? Man, that ball was crushed. Looked like he was sitting on the changeup. And he got it.
And he got Pedro to tie the game 1-1. And now Rodriguez fouls it back for strike one. Teixeira, his only other home run this postseason. His first year with the Yankees was the game winner in the 11th inning. Game 2 of the divisional series against the Twins. Now Rodriguez takes a strike, and it's 0-2. Last night was the 11th time that the Yankees were held homerless at their new home this year. Teixeira gets on the board with a 414-foot home run to right center. Rodriguez hits one in the air to left. Back is Ibanez for out number 1. Started to talk about the abilities of Pedro Martinez, not only on the mound but off it. Because he is as smart as he is, I think he really enjoys the back and forth with the media. Shows his intelligence. He's a very confident guy, obviously.
Off the charts.
But he's confident when he's got a baseball in his hand, and he's confident with a microphone in front of his face. Ken Rosenthal, a lot's been made about that press conference yesterday. He enjoys that cat and mouse game with the media.
Joe, that press conference was a typical Pedro tour de force. He is the best interviewer in the game.
Up and into Matsui, 1-1. Matsui with 1 out, nobody on, takes inside, 2-1. Martinez gave up 7 home runs in his 9 starts with the Phillies during the regular season. All 7 were solo home runs. And he gives up a solo shot here to start the 4th inning to tie the game. And now misses with ball 3 high to Matsui. With 1 out, Matsui walks, and here's a taste of that press conference yesterday with Pedro Martinez.
I don't know if you have realized this, but because of you guys, in some ways, I might be, at times, the most influential player that ever stepped in Yankee Stadium. When you have 60,000 people chanting your name, waiting for you to throw the ball, you have to consider yourself someone special.
He is that. With his 219 career wins against only 100 losses. As we said before, a career ERA. It's under 3. 1 on, 1 out. Cano goes after that Bugs Bunny changeup, as Jimmy Rollins calls it. It gets into the hitting area and just stops. Strike 1.
We talked to Charlie Manuel and asked Charlie what he saw from the bench and when he thought Pedro was in trouble. He said it's easy. When the arm or when the hand is below the shoulder on release.
Cano is jammed a bit, flies it into center. There is Victorino, and Cano is now 0 for 5 in this World Series.
Pitchers and catchers call that staying on top of the ball, and when he drops down, and it's easy to do with that changeup because you kind of lead with the elbow. But they will keep a very, very close eye on Pedro Martinez. They have the best view in the stadium to see whether he drops down or not. He and Rich Doobie.
Here's Jerry Hairston Jr. Runner at first, 2 out, tie game, 4th inning. Phillies in the 5th will have the bottom 2 in their lineup. And a fastball for a strike from Pedro.
That is the view that Charlie Manuel and Rich Doobie have. And Pedro trying to keep that hand and arm above the shoulder on release. When it drops down, when he gets tired, then it's time to take him out.
That's pitch number 73 from Pedro Martinez. It's a strike, and Hairston spins out of there. Didn't like the call. It's 0-2. On 0-2, that's too far inside. On deck is Melky Cabrera. Yankees have tied it on a leadoff home run by Teixeira. On 1-2, there's strike 3. And for Pedro Martinez, strikeout number 5 in the inning for the Yankees. Run number 1 for Teixeira. Postseason home run number 2. And after 4, game 2 is tied. Into the 5th inning now, a 1-1 game. Thanks to a home run from Mark Teixeira for the Yankees. Phillies have only 3 hits on the night. And a man picked off, 2 walks by Burnett, 5 strikeouts, and he's back to work in 1 pitch. Hairston stalks it. 1 out here in the 5th inning. Give a look at the in-game box score for the Phillies, brought to you by Fox Business Network, the new home of the American Dream, on Direct TV channel 359, or check your local listings. There are the hits: Worth, Ibanez, and Stairs, and the RBI for Matt Stairs with a 2-out base hit into left back in the 2nd. Here's Ruiz. Grounded out to short his first time up. Strike 1 outside corner.
Pete McCannon is the bench coach of the Phillies, and he has Bob Uecker humor. He is the bench coach to the left of Charlie Manuel. And last year he was a scout for the New York Yankees. And he said, just think, I'm responsible for both teams being here, the Yankees and the Phillies. Obviously he was kidding, but he is a funny, funny guy.
Breaking ball is fouled by Ruiz, and a former manager.
Yeah.
And a longtime baseball man is Pete McCannon.
Yep.
Good staff surrounds Charlie Manuel with Sam Perlazzo, another former manager. He's his third base coach. Davey Lopes, 16-year career in the big leagues. Rich Doobie, Milt Thompson, his hitting coach. Ruiz gets out, now gets back in. Hit a home run against A.J. Burnett. Carlos Ruiz did back in May, and he takes ball 1. Now the 1-2. Well hit into left field. Back is Damon at the wall. This ball is one bounce up against the wall, and it's a double with 1 out for Ruiz.
Carlos had a double in last night's game, and he continues in the postseason to get a key hit after a key hit. Only a .255 hitter during the season, but he did have a career high in home runs with 9. Well, he often, for the Phillies in the postseason, does he come through?
Yeah, his last 14 postseason games, he came into this one hitting .372. Now he's 1 for 2 tonight with the double. He is at second for Jimmy Rollins, who drove home 77 runs during the regular season, has 3 during the postseason. So a chance for the Phillies to jump right back on top. That's foul. This is a Philadelphia Philly team that averaged 7 runs in the 5 games against the Dodgers in the NLCS. Scored 6 runs on 9 hits last night. 1 run on 4 hits here tonight. Strike 2 on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Just inside ball 1.
Third fastball in a row, dips out of the strike zone.
We saw Jose Molina do a lot of this during the ALCS when he worked with A.J. Burnett, going out with a runner at second base to discuss. And it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count on Jimmy Rollins. Ruiz at second. And a good job by Molina to block that pitch. 2-2.
Once again, A.J. Burnett with 17 wild pitches on the year. That tied for the lead. And a fine play by Molina. Not only to get in front of it, but to catch it.
Ruiz really moving around out at second base, and a 2-2 pitch. Down and in. Rollins didn't go, and it's a full count. Burnett has come close twice to striking out Rollins, but now it's 3-2.
That's what they call a back leg breaking ball. He actually throws it at the back leg. Rollins held up. I think he'd get another breaking ball here.
On 3-2, and struck him out, 2 away. Strikeout number 6, and it did come on an A.J. Burnett curveball.
And another good play by Molina. Here's a pitch by pitch, the fastball to get ahead of Rollins. And then the 0-2 pitch just missed. And then Burnett goes to the breaking ball, throwing 4 in a row to finally get it.
So here is where Victorino's in a good spot in this Philadelphia lineup. He hits behind a guy who gets on base, who steals bases in Jimmy Rollins. Therefore, he gets a lot of fastballs. And in this case, first base is open, but Chase Utley, a big threat, is on deck, and A.J. Burnett gets him to pop it up. Alex Rodriguez has it to end the inning. Good start tonight for A.J. Burnett. Halfway through game number 2. Phillies, Yankees tied at 1. It's a 1-1 game into the bottom of the 5th inning. Even with the home run by Teixeira included, this has been another strong start for Pedro Martinez.
Yeah, absolutely, and a strong start for A.J. Burnett. Also, Good curveball when he gets ahead in the count, and he's done that consistently tonight.
So Martinez will deal with Melky Cabrera, and he misses with ball one. There is action with Jay Happ and Chad Durbin. A lefty and a righty for the Phillies out in their bullpen. 1-0 pitch. Martinez took something off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cabrera fly to center, hit it pretty well. His first time up. 0 for 4 in this World Series. His first. That's on the inside corner. 1-2. Jose Molina is next, and then Jeter, and Jose Molina is now. Strikeout number 6 for Pedro Martinez, and he's trying to pick up where Cliff Lee left off, and I know there's more to the Cliff Lee story, Ken Rosenthal.
Yes, Joe, it started yesterday in a cab in traffic in Manhattan. Imagine that. Cliff Lee was in that cab. He jumped out at West 119th Street, hopped on a subway, then had to change trains. No one recognized him. When he finally got to the park, someone had to come out and guide him inside. He arrived at 6:20 p.m., just an hour and a half before first pitch.
Wow. And then Ken went on to go 9 innings, 1 run unearned, 6 hits, throw 122 pitches, 10 strikeouts, no walks, and make 2 of the most nonchalant defensive plays by any pitcher in the history of the World Series as Jimmy Rollins shows off his arm. 2 out. And the bases are empty behind Pedro Martinez as Derek Jeter will walk in. So there it is, detailed. Leaves the hotel at 4:45. There's his first mistake.
That's right.
I mean, that's cutting it too close anyway.
Give yourself the extra hour, Cliff.
Doesn't matter, I guess, in the end how he got here. It's what he did when he got here, and he was dominant. Only run tonight for New York, the home run by Teixeira leading off the 4th. It's a 1-1 game. Breaking ball is hit down the left field line, and that ball will get to the wall. It's a 2-out double for Derek Jeter, who has his first hit of the night. Breaking ball, and Derek Jeter jumped all over it.
Yeah, it looked like Jeter went up looking for something off speed. He got it. It was the curveball that stayed in the middle of the plate. And we've said it often that catchers don't catch these pitches. Jeter, after striking out 2 times in a row, gets Martinez his 3rd time.
And gives the RBI chance to Johnny Damon. Ready in the bullpen. Charlie Manuel wants to go to a left-hander, Jay Happ, for Johnny Damon. 82 pitches on the night for Martinez. And a pop-up right side of the infield. Waiting for it is Ryan Howard, and that ends the 5th. Damon pops up. Pedro Martinez around the 2-out double by Derek Jeter. As we look at Pedro then and now. Back at it in the 6th inning of Game 2 of this World Series. Chase Utley first up, part of the order for A.J. Burnett. In a 1-1 game, and Burnett so far has been very good. 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, and a run on 4 hits. Strike 1 on Utley, who extended his streak, now 27 straight postseason games for Chase. Reaching base by a hit, walk, or hit by pitch. He has added to that best streak, the all-time history of the postseason in Major League Baseball. Breaking ball misses, a ball and a strike.
1-1 game here in the top of the 6th inning, and advantage no one, as each team has their 3rd, 4th, and 5th hitters up in both the top and the bottom of the 6th.
That's low, 2-1. So it's Utley now, Ryan Howard on deck, and then Jason Worth. Those bullpens are quiet now. The Phillies had Durbin and Happ getting loose in the bottom of the 5th. Pedro got around a 2-out double by Jeter. 2-1 pitch to the right side. That's to Shera. And the 2-time Gold Glove Award winner grabs it, goes to the bag, 1 out. So Utley is hitless, and Ryan Howard, who has struck out twice, who's 2 for 7 in this World Series after going 11 of 31 in the first 2 rounds of the postseason, hitting .355, stands in.
You talked about it a couple of innings ago. The pace of this game is so methodical, and often that happens when you get 2 pitching performances like we're seeing tonight out of Burnett and Martinez.
And a good tight curveball, strike 1. We haven't seen the Philadelphia bullpen so far. Last night, not a good night for the Yankee bullpen, the young members of the Yankee bullpen. Here's a 1-1 pitch. On the outside part, strike 2. And A.J. Burnett to this point has saved his best stuff for the most dangerous hitter in the Philadelphia lineup, Ryan Howard. That's ball 2. Howard steps out before a 2-2 pitch from Burnett.
Another curve.
And another strikeout. 3 times tonight, Ryan Howard has struck out, and a total of 7 on the night for A.J. Burnett. If you are just joining us, it's World Series game number 2. Phillies won last night 6-1. We're tied 1-1 here tonight. First run on a base hit to left off the bat of Matt Stairs, but Mark Teixeira tied it in the 4th. Good pitching by Pedro Martinez in his return to the Bronx, and certainly for A.J. Burnett. That's our Verizon game summary. That's a strike on the outside corner to Jason Worth, who's 1 for 2. 7th best total in the National League with 36 home runs during the regular season. He's added 5 in the postseason. Big threat. And a shot into center field. Easy for Cabrera. And a 1-2-3 6th inning, what a night for Burnett. Pedro Martinez back to the bump. Part of the order coming up, tied at 1. Pedro Martinez back to the mound. 1-1 bottom of the 6th inning, and the in-game box score for the Yankees brought to you by Fox Business Network. The new home of the American Dream on DirecTV Channel 359. Check your local listings. The only run produced by this man, Mark Teixeira. 1 for 2 on the night. Leadoff home run in the 4th. First pitch, a ball. Out goes Ruiz.
This is a tough inning for Pedro Martinez. Or when you think about it, a tough 2 hitters in Teixeira and Rodriguez, because Jay Happ, the left-hander, I think if there's a runner on, if either Teixeira or Rodriguez gets on, then Happ will be brought in to face Matsui and or Cano.
High and tight, ball 2 to Teixeira. That's foul. Steve Horn, our editorial consultant, talking to us before the game about the difference between command and control. Similar words. Pedro Martinez with great command, being able to do what he wants with the baseball, where he wants it, when he wants it, and he changes up on Teixeira, strike 2.
Remember, Teixeira hit a changeup for a home run. That changeup was a little bit slower.
And he gets Teixeira for the first out and strikeout number 7.
So after the 2-1 changeup, the 2-2 breaking ball below the knees to get him.
There's so much action at the plate and in the hitting area. These pitches from Pedro Martinez. His stuff doesn't overwhelm you. He's not lighting up a radar gun like he used to. But with his intelligence and his pitching guile, he is getting through this very good Yankee lineup here tonight as he misses inside ball 1 to A-Rod, who's 0 for 2. And Rodriguez pops it up right side, and it will get out of play. A Who's Your Daddy chant started with Teixeira up, then the strikeout. And the organist tries to get him going again. Giuliani needs some cheering up back there, evidently.
Yeah, yeah.
Here is a 1-1 to Alex Rodriguez. Fouled straight back on an 89-mile-an-hour fastball, strike 2.
3 straight 89-mile-an-hour fastballs in on the hands of Alex Rodriguez. Once again, that's where American League pitchers try to pitch him. Now we'll see where Martinez and Ruiz go. They're mixing their signs up even though there's no one on.
And another strikeout. And Rodriguez is 0 for 7 with 5 strikeouts in this World Series so far.
3 straight fastballs in on the hands, and then the changeup. Tantalizingly slow to get Rodriguez. He is a master.
Now it's Matsui, who has walked and singled. Strike 1. Hideki during the regular season, 28 home runs, 90 RBIs. 1 postseason home run here in 2009. Came against the Twins in the division series. Hasn't hit a lot of balls hard this postseason except for that home run as he takes strike 2. And here's Pedro with a chance to strike out the side against the heart of this Yankee lineup in the 6th. Ball 1. For the Yankees, you talk about all the home runs and some strikeouts piling up for the Yankee hitters this postseason, and just spoiling that pitch is Matsui. Teixeira struck out to start the inning. Alex Rodriguez followed. 8 on the night for Martinez. And only 3 hits for New York. There's a shot into right. Back at the wall. 2-1 New York.
A curveball on the ground below the knees. For the first time in these 2 games, the Yankees take the lead.
And for Matsui, his 8th career postseason home run. 2nd in the World Series. 320 feet over the wall and right.
It's weird how the game works, isn't it, Joe? You know, had Martinez allowed either Teixeira or Rodriguez to get on base, probably Charlie Manuel brings in Jay Hepp. You don't know that, but probably. He retires the first 2, and Matsui pops one.
Cano flies out. Hideki Matsui has given the Yankees their first lead in this World Series with that. 2-1 New York into the 7th. Back after this from your local Fox station. Between innings, Charlie Manuel, the Philadelphia manager, went down to talk to Pedro Martinez. You can see Pedro saying, "I'm fine." 99 pitches on the night. See if he goes back out there for the bottom of this 7th. We're in the top half. The home run by Hideki Matsui starts the clock ticking for the Yankees toward Mariano Rivera. Here is Ibanez. It's been a great start for Burnett, but you have to believe, Tim, that the Yankees are thinking we need 3 more outs before the Phillies get a run.
Yep.
And then we'll send in Rivera for 2.
That is exactly what I was thinking. In fact, our last question to Joe Girardi today, leaving his office. Rivera for 2 innings tonight. He didn't blink an eye. Yes.
Jabba Chamberlain getting loose right now in the 7th. 1-1 on Ibanez, who has doubled 34 home runs during the regular season, and he is late on that Burnett fastball. Whatever happens the rest of this 7th inning, A.J. Burnett has turned in a terrific start here tonight when the Yankees needed it, down 1-0 in this World Series. And a strikeout on a curveball.
That breaking ball has gotten better the last 2.5 innings. That's the same pitch that Burnett got Ryan Howard on. That outside curveball.
Right over the outside corner, and it brings in the DH Matt Stairs, who has the only RBI tonight for Philadelphia with a 2nd inning 2-out hit. Curveball in for strike 1. Mark Grace talked about it during our Chevy pregame. About A.J. Burnett usually during the course of a start has a 20-pitch portion of it where he'll just lose control of what he's dealing to the plate. That really, for the most part, hasn't happened here tonight.
No.
And that's one of the reasons why first pitch strikes 22 of the 25 hitters. Nothing in 2 on Stairs. How about another?
Again, the breaking ball on the outside.
And with 2 out, nobody on, Pedro Phillies. Ball 1 low. 2-1 Yankees top of the 7th inning. 2 out, nobody on. Phillies has struck out, fly to right. Good rip. Strike 1.
Some guys like the ball down, some like it up. But Pedro Phillies is an inside hitter. He loves the ball on the inside part of the plate. Don't look for Burnett to try to come inside.
Strike 2. A.J. Burnett had never made a postseason start prior to 2009. And he has saved his best for World Series game number 2. Jeter. Inning over. 7 strong from A.J. Burnett. Time to stretch in game 2. Yankees lead it 2-1. Here is Pedro Martinez back for the bottom of the 7th inning as he approaches 100 pitches on the night. Jerry Hairston Jr. is first up. Then Melky Cabrera, Jose Molina, and no surprise, we see Mariano Rivera getting loose in the bottom of the 7th. That bridge may be creaky getting to Mariano Rivera in the bullpen, but once you get to him, he usually delivers for New York, and there's a guy who should be thrilled with what he's done here tonight, A.J. Burnett.
Yeah, I think you're looking at the bridge to get to Mariano Rivera. Right there, A.J. Burnett. 7 innings of 1-run baseball.
And just 4 hits and 9 strikeouts, and maybe most importantly 2 walks. One of them was intentional. First pitch is strike to Jerry Hairston Jr. His grandfather, Sammy Hairston, was a catcher in the Negro Leagues, had a cup of coffee with the White Sox in 1951. Jerry's dad, Jerry Sr., was an outstanding pinch hitter. Long time with the White Sox in the 70s and 80s, and a teammate of our own Ozzie Guillen, and we're thrilled to have Ozzie with us during this World Series. And for Jerry, his younger brother Scott is an outfielder with the Oakland A's. So it is a baseball family. The Hairston family, and Jerry is 0 for 2 in his first start in the postseason. Good swing. Strike 2. Leading it off, Hairston jammed a bit, fights it off, fouls it. Still 0-2. Saw Charlie Manuel go down to the end of the dugout, talk to Pedro Martinez, who told him I'm fine. And here is Pedro now, over 100 pitches. He threw 130 pitches in a start against the Mets, 8 scoreless innings during the regular season. He's at 103 right now. as he tries to finish 7 innings. The 1-2.
Something Joe Girardi could do this inning if Mariano Rivera is coming in the top of the 8th inning. Joe could pinch hit Jorge Posada if Hairston gets on, if Cabrera gets on.
I would say, and I would imagine you would agree, only in that situation.
Yeah, right. With 2 out, nobody on, no way.
Hairston off the end of the bat into right field. Gary Hairston Jr. will hold at first with a leadoff single. And we'll see if that's it for Pedro Martinez or if Melky Cabrera will face him.
On the other hand, you do have the lead, and you want your better defensive catcher behind the plate. As Brett Gardner goes in to pinch run for Jerry Hairston, who has his first hit of the night. So if you're gonna pinch hit Posada, you might bunt here. If you're not going to pinch hit Posada, you're going to swing away with Melky Cabrera.
And the other problem is that unlike the LCS, Joe Girardi is only carrying 2 catchers.
Right.
So if you insert Posada into the lineup and something happens to him, then what?
Yeah.
Francisco Cervelli was taken off the active roster in favor of Eric Hinsky.
Phillies looking for the bunt. I don't think he's bunting here.
Shows it, pulls back from ball 1 low. Pedro Feliz is a terrific defensive third baseman, charging with that first pitch to Cabrera.
Now, one would think if you're going to bunt in this situation, the only reason you would bunt is to bring up Posada. Otherwise, no bunt.
Instead, a hit and run, and it's a line drive, base hit to right. Gardner turns and goes all the way to third. And now with runners at the corners and nobody out, Molina goes back into the dugout on a hit and run single to right by Melky Cabrera.
And here comes Posada. Talk about sending the runner at the right time. This ball plopping in front of Jason Worth. A good arm, but Gardner too fast, and he was taking off.
That should be it for Pedro, and this crowd will react when he heads off the diamond. With first and third, nobody out, and Posada coming up to hit for Molina. Charlie Manuel waiting. Manuel's waiting to make sure that Posada's announced as the pinch hitter he is.
I think he'll probably bring in Jay Happ, the left-hander, to swing Posada around to the right side.
Here comes these fans' chance to serenade Pedro on his way out. Pedro Martinez goes 6+. He's allowed 2 runs on 6 hits. He's responsible for the 2 on, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks, 2 home runs through 107 pitches. And Posada will bat for Molina against Chan-Ho Park. Posada gets to bat left-handed, and Joe Girardi cashes in the better defensive catcher, even with the Phillies running game. And with this game about to be turned over to Mariano Rivera, you would think for a bigger offensive threat in Jorge Posada trying to add to a 1-run lead.
Very interesting infield positioning here. The infielders are halfway. They're not all the way in, but halfway. Trying to cut down Gardner at home because Rivera's coming in the game. Phillies thinking that there's no way to allow the Yankees to score another run because 2 runs may be insurmountable with Rivera out there.
Posada takes a breaking ball down and in, ball 1. First Philadelphia reliever to work in 8 days. Chan-Ho Park. That's foul. Eric Karros on our Chevy pregame show said that he didn't think this was a must-win situation for the Yankees. I know you disagree with that. Talked about it at the beginning.
Be awfully tough to go into Philadelphia trailing a team that's 11-1 in their last 12 playoff games, covering 2 years. Down 0-2.
There's another strike from Park. He's throwing harder this year. 92 miles per hour, strike 2 on Posada. And a line drive, base hit to center, 3-1 New York. So that move worked for Joe Girardi as Posada jumped on that high delivery.
And when you think about it, everything's working in this inning for Joe Girardi and the Yankees. The base hit by Hairston, and then in my opinion, Melky Cabrera went up. He faked the bunt the first time, and then Girardi put the hit and run on. Now he pinch hits Posada. The Yankees not only score another run, but still nobody out. And in situations like this, Derek Jeter takes it upon himself to bunt the guys over.
Joe Girardi, who's had every move dissected and picked apart, has had a good 7th inning offensively. Jeter, that's strike 1.
We don't know for sure, but I think Melky Cabrera faked the bunt on the first pitch to get into a situation where he could hit and run. They did it, 1st and 3rd, nobody out, and it set up the inning.
That's strike 2, throw down to second, and Rollins did a good job to keep that throw on the infield. He lunged to his right, and it's an 0-2 count on Jeter.
Well, Melky Cabrera gets in the way of the throw. Watch the play by Rollins. You're right. That was a terrific throw. And Ruiz has to throw over Jeter. Of course, that was unintentional. Now you take the bunt off. No balls, 2 strikes. No way Jeter's bunting again. Too good a hitter.
And he strikes out trying to bunt.
Well, I'll tell you, it's not often that you sit in the booth and say that's a bad play by Derek Jeter, but that's a bad play by Derek Jeter. No way. Do you bunt in that situation? No way.
It's the first time that Jeter has struck out 3 times in one World Series game. And here comes Charlie Manuel. You think Jeter did that on his own as opposed to being told to by Girardi?
I think Joe Girardi's thinking that Derek Jeter's too good a hitter to be bunting with 2 strikes. In fact, I can't remember the last time that Derek Jeter tried to sacrifice with 2 strikes.
The hitter will be Johnny Damon. Chan-Ho Park is leaving. Runners at first and second with 1 out. And Scott Air is coming in. Look at what the Philadelphia Phillies have done over the last 2 postseasons. A 19-5 overall record, 6-0 in game 1s. That includes last night. Won their last 5 series, and they're 11-1 at home. And will be headed to Philadelphia on Saturday. On the air at 7:30 Eastern, this pitching matchup. 2 lefties, Andy Pettitte, 2-0 this postseason, taking on Cole Hamels, who was just about an automatic victory last postseason for the Phillies. Not so far this year. ERA of 6.75. Has not pitched past the 5 1/3 inning mark. Here is Scott Air with runners on at first and second, 1 out, and Johnny Damon at the plate. It's a 3-1 Yankee lead. And a breaking ball in for strike 1. Scott Air, who has a loose bone chip floating around in his left elbow. Important part of this Philadelphia bullpen from the left side against this Yankee lineup. Is 0-1. Is hit hard and stopped by Howard, who throws down to second. I think the first base umpire is saying that ball was caught on a line, and then Rollins tags the runner Posada to end the inning. That's a double play, a line drive double play, and Posada was tagged out by Rollins for going off the bag.
Brian Gorman put his right hand up immediately. Watch the first base umpire. Oh, that was a short hop.
Yep.
So that was a bad call. Posada couldn't see it. That is a short hop, not caught in the air. But the double play turned by the Phillies in yet another bizarre inning.
Meanwhile, we're in the top of the 8th inning now, and for Philadelphia, the number 9 hitter Carlos Ruiz will start it off against Rivera. And just to clarify one thing, the umpires, Tim, did come together.
Yes.
Well, after we went to commercial break, they did discuss it, and nobody overruled the call by Brian Gorman, so the call stands.
Deciding that the ball was caught in the air. That was really the only question. The minute the ball hit the ground and Howard goes to touch first base, that means Posada is safe at second. But because he called it a line drive caught in the air, then Posada was called out.
Here's a 1-1. Ruiz, 2 bounces to Rodriguez. 1 out. Now, as we look at it in regular speed, as we watched it, you couldn't tell. And you can see how fast this is as it scoops into the glove of Ryan Howard. And certainly tough for any umpire behind the infielder to make that call.
Yes.
We've seen some obvious mistakes. I wouldn't put that one in that category.
No, that was not obvious by any means.
There was their meeting while we were in commercial break, and now the Yankees are in the field. The Phillies are at the plate, and a ball inside to Jimmy Rollins, who's 0 for 2, and 1 for 6 in this World Series. Rivera deals, and there's that cutter in on the hands for Mariano Rivera. who in his career during the World Series is 2-1, 31 innings pitched, an ERA of 1.16. And he is up on the count here. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jimmy Rollins. Up above, aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. To get theater quality picture and sound on every channel, call 1-800-DirecTV. Rivera, who has 37 career postseason saves, his last one coming game 6 of the ALCS when he went 2 innings, allowed 1 run on 2 hits against the Angels. Two and 2. And now 3 and 2.
It's amazing how this game can turn from the methodical game that it was through the first 6 innings to the game it became in the 7th.
Foul tip. And still a full count. Pedro Martinez, just to finish his line, 6+ innings. He gives 3 runs on 6 hits, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, 2 home runs against him. Turned in a very good start here tonight. A.J. Burnett was better. For Burnett, 7 innings, 1 run, 4 hits. Just 2 walks, 1 of them intentional, 9 strikeouts. That is foul. Think about how the bottom of the 7th inning unfolded. A leadoff hit by Hairston. A base hit by Cabrera on a hit and run. A pitching change. Posada delivered an RBI hit to center. It was 1st and 2nd. Nobody out with Jeter up. He struck out trying to bunt. And then the line drive double play. End of the inning. That's ball 4 and a 1-out walk.
Great at bat by Jimmy Rollins to bring the tying run up.
And that's Shane Victorino right now, who's hit 3 home runs this postseason, 0 for 3 in this game.
Rivera's a remarkable athlete, but he does not have a good move to first base. That is not unlike most short relievers in baseball.
Rollins starts and stops as Victorino fouls it. And you're only in the 8th inning, so it's worth Rollins gets a good jump, taking off, getting into position to score on a hit, close it down to a 1-run game with the big bats coming up.
Absolutely.
To the right side and through the right side. Rollins will stop at second. It's 2 on with 1 out on a walk and a hit Base hit by Victorino, and now the big bats are coming for the Phillies.
Ron Fairley, a terrific major league player, told me once that if an outfielder charges the ball, regardless of his arm strength, that stops the runner. And that's exactly what Melky Cabrera did then. Charging the ball, Melky does not have the strongest of arms. It's okay, a little above average. But by charging the ball, he stopped Rollins at second base.
And when you talk about outfield arm strength, the weakest arm that's in the outfield for the Yankees is in left, Johnny Damon.
Right.
So a base hit the other way by Utley with the speed of Jimmy Rollins. They'll press it all series long against Damon in left. Here's Utley, who's 0 for 2 and homered twice last night. Ball one low. Just 2 home runs allowed in over 128 career postseason innings. A 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. The walk to Jimmy Rollins. Only the 7th walk by Rivera as he's pitching in his 7th World Series. Followed by a hit by Victorino, and now a 1-1 to Chase Utley. Strike 2.
Rollins trying to time Rivera at second base. Jeter keeping an eye behind him. And if Rollins tries to run, Victorino will try to run.
Utley gets a piece.
You can almost see the trail runner representing the potential tying run in Victorino checking Rollins out. He's got to make sure. But one thing Rollins does not want to do in this situation is make a fake break off of second base, because if you do that, Victorino might take the bait. And if he does, you throw behind him and get him at first base.
1-2 on Chase Utley. Two and two. The only World Series home run that Mariano Rivera has allowed was in 2000, the Subway Series. Game 2, Jay Payton of the Mets got it. At the plate now is Utley, who has a total of 34 home runs during the regular season and postseason. On deck is Howard, who has 47 total. Ball 3.
Now, if you're Charlie Manuel, you almost have to send the runners. You're in an ideal situation. Well, you're trailing by 2 runs. That's not ideal. But as far as base runners are concerned, you're in a good position.
To the right side. Cano out at second, over to first, out, double play.
I don't understand why they didn't send the runners in that situation.
Well, it just cost them a double play.
That's exactly right, and the Yankees get out of it.
And it left Ryan Howard standing in the on-deck circle. Well turned by Cano and Jeter, who gave it everything he had. 3-1 New York after 7.5.
If you send the runners, you don't have to worry about the play at first base, because the only play for Cano is to go to first. Now you have runners on at second and third. First base open. They decide whether to walk Howard or not. But you have the potential tying run on at second base.
And now Teixeira is drilled by Ryan Madsen. First pitch to Teixeira off his leg.
Now that cut fastball right off the right knee of Mark Teixeira. Ouch.
Just below the kneecap.
And just above the shin guard he wears on his right ankle.
It brings in Alex Rodriguez. I'm sure the defense, or the explanation, better said, on the part of the Phillies will be, well, if we start the runners, Utley strikes out, you get a guy thrown out on the bases, and Ryan Howard doesn't bat in that situation, then we lose out. As it turns out, they don't start the runners, and a double play follows, and Ryan Howard doesn't bat.
Well, the key thing is the tying run. The potential tying run is a trail runner. That's why you send the runners in that situation. You have speed on the bases. It's not a certainty that Posada's going to throw out Jimmy Rollins or Shane Victorino. That's why you send the runners. You have a contact hitter up there. Don't have necessarily a ground ball pitcher, but on any fly ball, they have a chance to retreat from the bases from which they came. You got to send the runners in that situation.
Alfredo Aceves
shocked.
Starts to loosen. It was a long inning for Rivera, 23-pitch 8th inning. But he's had 3 days of rest.
Aceves may be just getting his throwing in. Maybe much ado about nothing, as Mariano appears to be all right.
Yeah, I would agree, because if you're Aceves, you're thinking, well, pitching change-wise, we're finished.
Yeah, unless it goes 16, 17 innings. It's the only way I'd get in the game.
So a swinging strike on Rodriguez, and meanwhile, Alex Rodriguez is 0 for 7 with 5 strikeouts against the Phillies in this World Series. The 1-2 from Madsen. Rodriguez struck out twice against Pedro Martinez, flying to left. Came into last night's game 1 red hot, hitting .438 in the postseason. The biggest offensive reason why the Yankees made it to the final round. That strike 3 called. Rodriguez didn't like the call, and that's out number 1. Tonight's saving moment of the game to this point, brought to you by Walmart. Save money, live better. Walmart, and it's the double play with Utley at the plate. 2 on, 1 out, 4-6-3. From Cano to Jeter, and on to first to end the top of the 8th. So add another strikeout for Rodriguez. 0 for 8, 6 strikeouts, 3 last night and 3 tonight. Game 3 starter Andy Pettitte for New York. take on Cole Hamels on Saturday. Matsui has a home run in this game to go with his single and his walk. His home run against Pedro Martinez with 2 out, nobody on after Pedro had struck out Teixeira and Rodriguez. Gave the Yankees a 2-1 lead. It's now 3-1. Good fastball from Madsen. 2 balls and a strike. Alex Rodriguez has struck out 3 times in a game, 4 times this year. 3 of those times have been against the Phillies. It's happened in back-to-back games here to start the World Series. 2-2 now on Matsui. Cano is hitless as well in this series. He's on deck. Phillies in the 9th inning will have Ryan Howard, Jason Worth, and Raul Ibanez. And a strikeout of Matsui follows the strikeout of Rodriguez. 2 away. The World Series on Fox is sponsored by Corona. Kick back and relax with an ice cold Corona and lime. By American Express. Don't take chances, take charge. And by DJ Hero. 93 original mixes now in your hands. So with 2 out and a runner at first, that's Teixeira, who was drilled on the right knee to start the inning. Here's Cano. And he gets a base hit to right. First hit of this series. Teixeira stops at second. Seems to be running well after taking that pitch off the knee. And it's 2 on with 2 out for Brett Gardner, who took over as a pinch runner last inning.
With 2 outs, Teixeira is not a fast runner, and he stops at second.
Here comes Rich Doobie, pitching coach. I'm sure remind Ryan Madsen of the scouting report on Brett Gardner. 2 on, 2 out, and Gardner could add to a 2-run Yankee lead. Warner Brothers Pictures Invictus from director Clint Eastwood. Stars Matt Damon and Morgan Freeman. It's in theaters everywhere December 11th. Visit from Rich Doobie is finished, and Brett Gardner, who had a chance of starting this game once Nick Swisher went to the bench. Instead, he filled his usual role of a late inning either pinch runner or defensive replacement. So far 2 for 3 this postseason, swinging the bat. Strike 1 from Madsen. 94 on the radar gun. Spins Gardner out of there. Ball 1.
Ryan Madsen featuring fastball, changeup primarily, an occasional curveball, but rarely.
On the inside corner, strike 2.
Good tailing fastball right on the corner.
And a little chopper right side that hit Gardner on the foot. It's a foul ball. So the runners return to first and second, and the count remains 1-2. And let's take a look. Glanced off the top of the right shoe of Brett Gardner. Talked about the umpiring a lot during the postseason. Major League Baseball, even though they're not really trumpeting the fact, they have an entire staff, umpire-wise, in this World Series. Every one of these umpires has worked at least one World Series. So they have gone with a more veteran staff working this last round of the playoffs. A 1-2. Gardner fouls it straight back. Big swing by Brett Gardner. And a strikeout from Ryan Madson on that good Madson changeup. That sends game 2 into the 9th inning. Rivera will deal with Ryan Howard, Jason Worth, Raul Ibanez. 3-1 New York in game 2. Mariano Rivera trying for another 6-out save during the postseason. He threw 23 pitches to get through a long top of the 8th. He leads by 2. He has saved 9 World Series games in 10 tries. His only blown save, 2001 Game 7 in Arizona. Number 2 on the all-time regular season save list. 526, and he has 37 postseason saves, most all-time by miles. And Ryan Howard, after the first pitch, strike 1. Howard has struck out 3 times tonight. That was all against A.J. Burnett, who stands to be the winner. And he'll be able to puff out his chest tonight after this effort. 7 innings, 1 run, 4 hits, 9 strikeouts. He got the game into the hands of Rivera. Pitch was up. Howard pops it foul, and that will get out of play, strike 2. Red Myers and Brad Lidge getting loose for Philadelphia here in the 9th. In case. Got him looking, and Howard strikes out for the 4th time tonight.
Howard thought that pitch was outside or high or both.
Our unofficial look at it on Fox Tracks and even live, it looked like it went around the plate.
Yep.
And was a ball. Instead, Ryan Howard is frustrated with his 4th strikeout tonight. Here's Jason Worth. Ball 1. Worth has a hit, 1 for 3, and now 2 for 5 in his World Series. Ibanez on deck. One ball, 1 strike. Pitch was up. Worth almost came out of his shoes, but it's strike 2. Two and 2. Rivera, who turns 40 at the end of November. Brings home a 2-2. Off the end of the bat, 2 out. And now Raul Ibanez, who is 2 for 19 in his career, will try and extend this game, or the 105th World Series will head to Philadelphia for Game 3 on Saturday night, tied 1 game apiece. Strike 1. Ball 1. That's into left center field. That ball is not caught. Takes 2 hops, now 3-4 up against the wall, and the Phillies are still alive. Second double of this game for Raul Ibanez. And this will be an interesting matchup with the DH Matt Stairs coming up.
I was thinking the same thing. Any way to fight your way on for Ibanez. And Matt Stairs, we talked about it earlier, tries to swing as hard as he can and hit the ball as far as he can. And this gives the Phillies life.
Stairs has the only RBI tonight for Philadelphia. Base hit into left. He's 2 for 15 in his career against Rivera. But when he connects, they go a long way. Tying run at the plate, 2 out. Strike 1. Stairs had only 20 hits during the regular season. 5 of them left the park. Strike 2. The man with 37 career postseason saves brings home his 37th pitch of this game 2. And it's upstairs, ball 1. Ball 2.
Rivera and Posada trying to crowd Matt Stairs. Every pitch has been in off the plate.
Much less of a home run threat on deck in Pedro Feliz, a right-handed batter. Stairs is on this roster to do one thing, and that's hit home runs.
Right. Back inside.
Game over. Series tied at a game apiece. A 39-pitch performance and a 6-out save for Mariano Rivera. Fourth save of this postseason for Mariano Rivera, and the win for A.J. Burnett, his first career postseason victory. And he deserved it.
Welcome to MLB Tonight, presented by Motorola. Game 2 of the World Series is complete. It's Greg Amsinger alongside Harold Reynolds, Mitch Williams, and Barry Larkin. The Yanks get it done. We've got a series again. We were saying it's a must-win. Well, they went out and got the job done, didn't they?
They won. It was a terrific game, though. I mean, if you're a baseball fan and you want to see good pitching, good defense, a little controversy with the umps, it had everything.
Well, when you look at it, you can't see a better pitched ball game as far as A.J. Burnett goes. This is the guy that the Yankees went out and spent all the money on this last winter. This is what they paid for. This was the dominating A.J. Burnett because he made a really good lineup tonight look really pedestrian.
AJ was awfully dominant. You're absolutely right. But Pedro showed up also. I was really interested to see how he came out and did in New Yankee Stadium. He did really well.
It was really cool to watch Pedro Martinez walk in there. The fans just grilling him to no end. Let's get you to the highlights and show you what went down in Yankee Stadium. Game 2 of the 2009 World Series. Pedro arriving at the new Yankee Stadium for the first time, and you know he was greeted by the New York crowd before the game. Who's your daddy? Also, before first pitch, Derek Jeter received the 2009 Roberto Clemente Award. A great scene there. Jeter, a great humanitarian. Bottom of the first, fans at the stadium letting Pedro know the Yankees are still his daddy. Here's Derek Jeter leading off the game. Woo! Throwing the heat.
I'm telling you what, Pedro, it's about pitching. And that right there, that Bugs Bunny changeup, when you can pitch, it doesn't matter how hard you throw.
But how about Matt Stairs? His first at bat in this game, he goes the other way. That's an RBI.
You know, they were talking about this on Alex Rodriguez here. This ball is hit pretty sharp at it. What do you think, Lark?
Yeah, I thought it was. It was just kind of those in-betweeners right there. He didn't know whether to dive, go to his knees, or what.
Bottom second, 1 out. Hideki Matsui on first. Robinson Cano goes gap, but Raul Ibanez.
That's a great play. Raul is not known for foot speed out there in left field. He makes a great read on this ball, gets a good jump on it, and then dives to put the little finishing touches on it.
Player, isn't he?
Oh, very good player.
Chase Utley intentionally walks after getting the 3-0 count against A.J. Burnett. Ryan Howard walks to the plate, having struck out in his last at-bat. 2 outs, runner on first and second. He goes down swinging. Rough night for him.
Now, when they walked Utley, I was thinking, okay, he hit 2 home runs, but the pitch to Ryan Howard, they obviously know something we didn't know.
Here is Raul Ibanez at the plate, pitch in the dirt. Molina throws to first. What a play.
I'll tell you what, I watched this play, and Raul Ibanez almost got his left ear taken off right here.
He did.
I mean, that was a major flinch on his part. And you know, if your last name is Molina and you own catcher's gear, you're going to throw behind people.
But you know what? But that ball was in the dirt, so that's your natural reaction to get off the plate. Great play by Molina.
Bottom 4, Mark Teixeira leading the inning off in a big way.
This pitch is off the plate away. He hit his spot. I mean, you're looking at that, and he still manages to hook this ball.
Incredible. Teixeira goes yard, and we're tied. Bottom 5, 2 outs, a man on second. Phillies bullpen signals to Charlie Manuel that Jay Happ is ready to face lefty Johnny Damon. Manuel stays with Pedro, and Damon pops out to Ryan Howard. So Martinez pumps his fist and likes it. Bottom 6, 2 outs. Martinez, after he struck out Teixeira and Rodriguez, Hideki Matsui, how'd he hit that?
Because that's where you don't miss the left-handed hitter.
I'll tell you what, though, it's still a pretty good pitch. I mean, look at how low this ball is, but it's in his loop zone. It's in his loop zone, Mitch. I agree with you. I agree.
Up and away, down and in, nitro zone to left-handed hitters. Hideki Matsui is a traditional left-handed hitter.
Luke is your father.
Pedro says, I'm fine. Leave me in there. Leave me in there, Skip. Top 7, Burnett cruising. Strikes out Ibanez looking. Next batter, Matt Stairs. That same off-speed pitch. Pedro Feliz. Oh, he makes contact. Burnett lets it go. That's a great play from Jeter.
Yeah, it was a great play from Jeter. And, heads-up play by Burnett, because if he deflected that ball ends up going somewhere he doesn't make that play.
Don't leap, dive, or lunge as a pitcher.
Pedro goes back to the mound in the 7th, facing Melky Cabrera with a man on. He singles to right. The hit and run was on. Gardner to third.
I was a bit surprised. Well, 2 things. I was a bit surprised to see Pedro still in the game, but you pinch run for Jerry Harrison?
I know.
That's what I don't understand.
And he didn't steal. He went hit and run right after that. Yeah.
But I can tell you this. It was a great bit of base running there by Gardner to get to third base. That ball was not hit soft to right field.
Pedro's smiling at the crowd as he walks off the mound. His night is done. Chanho Park facing Jorge. Posada singles up the middle. Again, Molina started at catcher. Posada comes through. It's 3-1 Yanks. 2 batters later, Scott Air facing Johnny Damon. He hits this one to first. They say Howard caught that in the air. Therefore, it's a double play. What do you guys think? Take another look.
Well, I think Ryan Howard tells you, does he not, H? As soon as he made the throw to second, he's telling everybody in the ballpark, I did not catch this ball.
But the umpire has to make a call before he throws it to second, and that's the problem.
Top 8, Mariano trying to get a 6-out save facing Chase Utley. 2 on, 1 out. Utley hits the 7th pitch of the at-bat to second. That is a 4-6-3 double play.
You sure about that?
Safe.
You sure about that?
I tell you what was impressive about that play. Did it get him? I'm not sure. But Robinson Cano taking his time because he's playing outs. You got Mariano. If you turn it, great. If not, you got first and third. You got 2 outs. You know, remember, just get your chance to get out of the game.
He gets out of the game as he strikes out Matt Stairs with a man on. The Yankees win, and they tie this series at 1. It's 3-1 the final. Rivera was brilliant, a 6-out save. All of the pitching was good. Martinez, AJ, 17 strikeouts combined.
Mariano, did you know the plan was 7 innings for Burnett, and if you guys had the lead, were you ready to go too?
Oh, I was ready to go, yeah. I mean, after the performance that AJ put today, I mean, that's the least that I can do.
Did you feel in the end of the 9th inning there, you've thrown a lot of pitches? How's the arm right now?
Arm is fine. We won.
You're good.
That's the most important thing. Yes,
Would you have been able to do that without an off day tomorrow? Because that was a lot of effort. Those guys certainly didn't let you off the hook.
Well, let me tell you something. It's not if. You know, we have a day off, so we know what we do.
Was this a must-win for you guys?
Definitely, we needed to win. You know, it was no doubt about that. We need to win, and we come back strong today.
Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Mariano Rivera, guys, are going to Philadelphia. All locked up at 1. Back to you.
Very unique routine when he steps into the batter's box.
Everything you love about baseball is on MLB Network, our national pastime all the time.
The 20 DVD World Series Film Collection is the definitive celebration of the Fall Classic. Featuring 65 World Series films, a foreword by Bob Costas, and a stunning commemorative coffee table book design, this magnificent showpiece is filled with World Series pictures, memorabilia, legend, and lore.
Don't believe what I just saw!
All the treasured moments and heroes of autumn's past are preserved in the World Series Film Collection. Secure your copy of this remarkable gift set today.